From the honorable topics and important matters that touches the need of every Muslim will actually concern the Muslim in regards of his day and night, his standing and his sitting, his movement and his stability, his entering and his exit, all his affairs and all his matters, is that he dedicates them all in obedience to Allah, and he uses them in what pleases Allah. So at all these times and all these movements, he becomes remembering Allah, seeking support from Him alone. And it has been confirmed in Sahih Muslim that the Prophet ﷺ used to remember Allah in all of his affairs, meaning in all of his situations. He ﷺ never abandoned remembering Allah, whichever the case was, day or night, morning or evening, whether he was a traveler or a resident, sitting or standing, and all of his affairs. He would not begin ﷺ an act, but he would remember Allah, sleeping or coming back, waking up from his sleep, entering the house or exiting, riding or getting down, ﷺ. And if you ponder over the honorable sunnah of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, you see that there is actually a dhikr, or remembrance, pertaining to the morning and evening, pertaining to going to sleep and waking up, pertaining to the prayers and after the prayers, pertaining to eating and drinking, pertaining to riding and traveling, pertaining actually to kicking or keeping away worries and sorrows and sadness, pertaining to the Muslim to say when he sees something he likes, or to say when he sees something he dislikes, in which the daily and the evening situation of the Muslim. And when you ponder and recite these dhikr at the times in which he ﷺ have mentioned them or have uttered them, the servant actually becomes declaring at all times the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, freeing himself from associating anything with Allah in worship, submitting to the fact and declaring the oneness of the Lordship of Allah, and that He's the only one worthy of being worshipped alone. And when you ponder over the supplications and adhkar of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you attest many times during the day and the night that Allah Azza wa Jalla is one, and He is the one who caused life and death, and He is the one that fed and indeed gave water, and He is the one that caused poverty, or granted poverty, or granted prosperity, and He is the one subhanahu wa ta'ala that guided, and He is the one that also caused others to be astray. Therefore He is the only one worthy of being worshipped. The servant of Allah should know these matter of remembrance, the adhkar, and say them at the time in which the Prophet ﷺ has set for them, whether during the day or during the night, as it been mentioned in the Sunnah. This way he received the rewards that the Prophet ﷺ have promised. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has praised them, saying, وَالذَّاكِرِينَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا وَالذَّاكِرَاتِ. Those who remember Allah much, men or women, Allah prepared for them forgiveness and a great reward. Abdullah ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him and his father, said in regards of the meaning of this ayah, those who remember Allah much, meaning men or women, are the ones who remember Allah after the prayers, morning and evening, while lying down on their beds, every time they wake up from their sleep. When they leave or enter their house, they remember Allah. So they become those whom Allah Azza wa Jal praised in the ayah. Mujahid rahimahullah said, no one will be among those whom Allah praised to be those who remember Allah much, men and women, till he remembers Allah standing, sitting, or lying down.